I'm really happy that I'm getting this chance to now be in this campaign and a guest in Gavin's.
I kind of just wanted it to be fun and try a type of character I haven't really role-played before. Normally I play characters who are a lot more reserved, so it'd be interesting to play a character who's a lot more outgoing.
I think it will be hard for me in the first few sessions to get a emotionless face and voice to play my character right, and not to show as much emotions.
It's okay. So we know that this is what you're going for, and we will try not to assume you're not interested in playing, right?
Yeah, I'm very interested.
I asked Bryan to kind of simplify the Dragon Age world, and Andreas is his response to that request. If you want to add in more from the Dragon Age universe, I'm okay with it, as long as Bryan says it's okay. I don't have very extensive knowledge about Dragon Age than the rest of you.
If anything, knowing more will probably trip me up. Be like, wait, this doesn't work like this? Whoops.
Will you be okay with that, or?
Oh, no, yeah, I'll be fine. Like, trip me up in a good way.
We just have to talk it out when we have confusions.
We talked about not really having a big bad in our game. What do you think about that idea?
Kind of reminds me of Picarovis. I think it's quite old going around where they just went around and did stuff like this. It sounds quite cool. Plus, quite often, if people interact and adventure in the world long enough, they probably won't even need a big bad, so to speak of. Probably make our own enemies and stuff.
Yeah.
Probably more than one very dangerous foe, if my experience of role-playing tells me anything.
We also talked about sometimes having bad consequences for the good things we did.
Seems realistic. People try to help other people all the time. It doesn't always turn out well.
Does anyone have any particular interest in what the campaign would be about?
Maybe organically that the campaign could change. Maybe our character takes up a quest that takes us a little bit away from the city or town we were in.
You were talking about having a character arc for Frost?
Yeah.
Is that something that interests you, Ella, for your character?
A little bit. Definitely can see her evolving a few different ways depending on what happened. But she definitely has some growing up to do.
Having character arc being the influence on how the story goes is what you would like, right?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Like the characters kind of like drive the story, I guess.
It's quite hard to end a sandbox style campaign. So I was wondering your opinions on an end point. Would you like there to be a definite overarching plot that has the end point?
Depending on how fun I will have this year, I think at the end I will start begging to keep going because I love a good story.
As long as like most of the character arcs are resolved, I don't really mind that particularly much. Like if we all end up dead, probably stop there. Hopefully not. But it might be nice just to have like a little bit of a overarching plot. Otherwise it could just go on and on forever, as you said.
Life is going to come in and make a mess with our schedules and everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's why I'm thinking maybe a bit of an overarching plot. Yeah, then we kind of have an idea of like when to stop, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think when Frost finally have learned about his emotions and when he finally gets to be a real person, I think that will be most closely at the end of the campaign. So I think I will then be satisfied still want to go, but understanding that a story should have a ending.
Nothing stopping you bringing him into other campaigns you're playing.
And be like the Gandalf of other people's parties.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm sure I'd get more campaigns out of Andreas, so
Maybe a guest player.
maybe. Unless obviously he dies at the end of this.
No.
Well, I'm hoping because there's only the three of you that combat will be a bit more streamlined. I tend to like my players to be kind of ready with an idea of what they want to do on their turn.
I think the main issue a few times I've played was GM was like, yeah, 10 people, yeah. Yeah, they changed their minds and went straightly to like 6, no more.
5 would be my upper limit.
Like, I know the environments and stuff, but I was just wondering if you guys had any idea of what the people were like there.
There could be different kind of Kunari, dwarves, and elves. Like a subspecies of elves live underground. Their species adapts to that environment. What do you think about that?
Oh, yeah.
As far as like individual places within the regions, I haven't really thought that far. Well, I would say I'd leave it entirely up to you three, but I could end up with the strangest world imaginable.
Yeah. I was always interested by different forms of governments because I'm studying basically that at the moment. So it's always like, oh, is it like different like social structures and stuff?
You can propose it, and you will be the knowledgeable person when we need to know something about a place.
Well, my character
Yeah,
has travelled a lot.
Maybe it could be a mix between a king's rule and a government rule in some areas.
I don't know the exact areas yet, but I know there's a couple of dictator-style towns. You don't have to do anything about. It's been 1,000 years since they merged into one country, but they still have their own kind of regional government kind of things. They're not under one central government yet.
Okay.
And
Well,
you are asking us about exploration. That means there are still areas that haven't been settled.
It's a big continent. So yeah.
Do you know how magic works in the world?
I've decided that the fade doesn't exist in my world, and it's all emotions based, which probably fit your character quite well actually.
Yeah.
And dwarves can use magic in my world,
Oh,
which is something new.
I think they would mostly use magic that could control stone.
So they'd be a bit more primal based in your mind?
Yeah, definitely fit your character, Ella, how magic works.
Yeah, definitely thinking it.
You just can discuss your backstories with each other if you want each other to know them. One of you might come up with an idea the one didn't think of.
Is it really how you should play?
I personally like players to be surprised by things, but it's entirely up to you, as I say, what you tell the other players about your character.
I could just tell you my concept. She's going for shapeshifter because that seems like fun. Probably parties a fair bit. She's not one of those people who just goes around without care in the world, just going, oh, that looks interesting. I'm going to go over there and just hang out for a while. It's like, wait, weren't you doing something over here? Probably. Well, come back in like 3 hours or so. You'll be fine. She's very nonchalant. What about your character?
My character grew up tranquil his whole life, and in the story something happened and the spell broke. Very interesting to play a person who's never felt any emotions before, and learning what they are and how to react to them.
What do you think about player versus player, or PC versus PC?
Sometimes it can be interesting if a few characters don't particularly like each other, but they work together anyway because situations force them to, or one of the characters is like annoying the other character. I think it's best that the PCs don't like start to draw swords on each other unless it's like a situation that warrants it. Probably not at the first meeting. She probably won't go out directly just to do blatantly evil stuff, but she can do some morally questionable things. She'll try and do it for the reasons which seem right in her head, but might not agree with everyone else's definition of right.
Yeah.
As long as you know that this is a predominantly good campaign, so I don't have anything planned past the first meeting. None of your personalities seem to warrant sticking together.
Yeah, I can see that. Who is Ella's character?
I've named her Izzy, short for Ishild. She'll probably hang around as long as something interesting is happening type of person. Like, I don't really see her wanting to leave a group if, like, the people are interesting and stuff. Or they seem like they could attract trouble.
So we've got the mountains, the desert, the marshland, or just grassland, I believe.
The desert, there could be the most interesting place for Frost because of his personality, and his characteristics would shine around there. That's why
It'd
I
be like a
think.
nice contrast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want it more Skyrim, where like the main plot stops until you go back to it, or do you want the world to continue even when you're not doing anything?
Yeah, maybe not really going as fast, but still going.
So you don't want anything like urgent,
It
like you don't want a certain time limit kind of thing.
I like the idea of like the world going on. Like if you hear about something going on in some other region, or this is the region we're in, but we like, we'll come back later. When we come back, we can actually see like the after effects, and if we try like really hard, that we can like migrate some of those after effects via our actions type thing. It's going to be more difficult to save the day or whatever, but still like a slight possibility that it can be saved. Like the people who are already dead, they're dead, but it's not just like a big giant crater going, this place that you used to visit all the time, no longer here.
Like Lovering in Dragon Age. I did like that fact because it actually showed that the Dark Zone were advancing. But I didn't like it because it only happened once past a certain point in the game. It didn't just it wasn't time based. I'd have loved if they went further and more towns and cities were starting to get destroyed the longer you took to do things.
Yeah, and it would be nice like if you go back to like some of those cities, like they're all destroyed and stuff, but you could see like where people used to be type thing.
Yeah. Going back to Dragon Age, they kind of did that well with Redcliffe. You go and initiate the quest to stop the undead, but if you leave before you've done it, and you come back, it's past the night and the whole town's been wiped out. I think that's the only time in a game I've seen that happen.
What do you think so far about the campaign?
Sounds pretty good. Like a picaresque, like a rascal tale. Go around doing random things, and eventually the consequences and like just the effects of doing those things kind of build up and create a story. The story is shaped by various interactions.
When I play a game where you could be good or evil, I always play evil because to me it's more fun. I'm not evil myself, but when I play a game and it's not really me, it's not really a real world, I always want to play evil character. But if I ever play a good character, I can never play a bad character after, because when I have seen the story of the other characters in the game, I can't be evil to them.
Yeah, you feel too bad if you do something bad to one of them.
Would you like it big scale, like this big baddie's going to destroy the world kind of thing, or would you like it smaller scale, like Team Rocket, like just criminal organisation kind of thing.
From Pokemon.
Yeah.
So you kick them and they fly into the sky and they don't become a problem anymore?
They keep coming back though, right?
Oh, yeah, true.
like cockroaches.
I suppose they could start as a Team Rocket style thing, and then if it goes that way, they could become a world-threatening organization.
I mean, Frost already has kind of a big bad in his backstory,
Yeah.
unless we take care of him quickly enough.
Both Izzy and Frost have things that could come back to haunt them. Depends where you're going.
Anything could happen, at least for me.
Is that something the Ella or Kristian likes to do in RPGs?
I don't mind bits where you have to escape from somewhere, angering the wrong people and having to like do like a jailbreak type thing. I find those situations interesting.
I think there are players who likes really challenging combat. There are players who like situational role playing, interacting with other PCs or with NPCs, and just have kind of a soap opera kind of a story. Other players like solving puzzles, mysteries, finding out something cool or getting something cool. What kind of preference do you have, Ella?
I like being able to interact with the NPCs and the PCs and stuff.
Me too. Different kinds of scenario can come up, but it's story and character first. I'm not that big on combat.
Most systems nowadays are about role-playing. I know Dragon Age is.
I usually avoid magic user characters because there are just too many rules.
That's why I like this one, because they pretty much works the same way as normal fighting. Like you roll your 3d6 and add your magic and all that stuff. Just add your bonuses and whatever it says.
Yeah, the spells feel kind of more like tools and various weapons. It feels like I can use this sword, aka fireball, or I can use this healing kit, healing. Like it feels a bit more like that. Doesn't feel like, if I want to heal someone, I have to go over here and activate this specific thing in the sequence of there's one way, otherwise it won't work. It feels a bit more organic.
What sort of creatures would you imagine in the world?
I think some mythological creatures too, from different cultures.
Dragons would be cool.
Bryan already has angels, so I'm
Yeah,
open.
they came and went. Don't you be interested in the return of the angels?
That could be fun. Like, just the angels rock up and it's like, yeah, we're here to conquer the world. And the other people are like, do I get rid of you? Okay, how did we do this last time?
Archangel coming to take over.
I imagine these angels have dragon wings. It's not feathery wings, but skin based.
That's exactly what I was thinking about them when I was imagining them.
It ties in with dragons, right?
It could be like dragon people, but the name for the species could be angels. Human bodies, but still have some features from dragons, like they could still breathe fire and they could fly.
It sounds like we've come up with our overarching plot. The
Oh dear.
Maybe Kunaris could be like a mix between dragon people and humans.
Canaries are angels without wings.
Like a mongrel type race, like they have a bit of like a few things in them, because the angels started liking the humans and the elves and stuff. As time went on, they developed into like their own race type thing.
And when they come back, they hate everyone.
I think the fact that they were kind of banished and trapped could explain why they hate everyone when they come back. It's all fitting in place now. Would you like this to like come up in session 1, or would you just like session 1 to be its own kind of standalone thing, and then session 2 throw you into the main plot?
Maybe there's a bit like of hints and like some foreshadowing that something's going to happen. You hear like rumors about some odd going ons or something.
Izzy is going to be the first to discover that.
Yeah, I can see that. not all the angels want to invade. Rebels within the rebels kind of thing.
I imagine him to be very cold calculating. If he sees a group of opponents that he determine which is the most dangerous, go for them first.
They're quite like a tactical style of fighting.
I actually imagine him to not kill anyone, but I don't know if it will change as he get emotions.
Lose control, become the Hulk. And Izzy will do all the tricks.
I think 6th level you get like specializations. I'm thinking going with the shapeshifter. So small animal forms probably won't be very useful combat wise, but ever need to escape anywhere, just like turn into like a little bird and just fly out.
Yeah.
Grab some keys. I normally find just going with whatever makes sense for the character, whatever like bills and abilities and stuff would reflect what the character's goals are and their personality type thing. That's normally how I approach building a character, mechanic-wise.
Just thinking out loud, would you be adverse to being thrown straight into it in the first session? Don't mean like the angels have already arrived, but like going straight into the main plot of the angels arriving and that.
Maybe like the big gate thing that they sent them through is like weakening or something. There might be like various reasons why it might happen, and they're trying to figure out a way to strengthen it.